Today I'm going to speak about health, and I'll use try to use all these collocations. They will help me to speak more fluently and sound naturally. Usually I see a doctor when I have to take a sick leave at work, and when I'm coming down with some disease, for example with a cold or with the flu, and I don't feel well and I'm falling ill. For example, I catch a cold and I have a running nose and have a cold and headache, and my temperature is very high. And if my state is very serious, I just call an ambulance. It's an emergency case, and the doctor may comes to see me, and he asks me questions and examines my he takes temperature and measures high pressure, just blood pressure, sorry, and asks me what am I suffering with, and if it is maybe a question of life or death. I may be hospitalized, but in fact I was hospitalized only when I was a little girl, last time, with a serious case, a serious illness. But when I was a grown up, I never was at a hospital because of getting sick. But I was hospitalized and then in 3 days discharged from the hospital when I had children, my kids. I try, of course, when I became older, now I try to do a lot of things that help me be healthy. I try to exercise. I do yoga 2 times a day, 2 times a week, during an hour and a half. And I never go on a diet, but I try to cut down on sugar sometimes, and cut down on meat, and especially when I am not, when I don't feel very well, because if you have catch a cold or get the flu, you just it's for your organism, it is hard to struggle with a disease and digest the heavy food at the same time. I don't smoke, so I don't have to give up smoking, but I should work on a regular basis. I know it, and try to be fit as a fiddle and be healthy as a horse. What about our about medical care, medical care in Russia? I like it because we all, every citizen have health insurance or a health care coverage, and even all of them have it who doesn't walk at all, or never walk, or never walks. And so it is important, and it is good, because you don't have to pay medical bills when you, after you see a doctor, or after you have to have blood test, or you have checked your lungs, and do some other procedures, such as X-ray, examining, and MRI, ultrasound. You have you have checking up with your doctor, and don't have to pay for it. And he prescribes you some bills, and they are, of course, you should pay money you should buy them at the drugstore, and very often they are very expensive, but still, for your treating, for prescriptions, and some other procedures, you don't pay money. But there are lots of clinics that are not free, and you choose where to go, because now our medical healthcare system is maybe very widely, so there are as good qualified doctors as no low qualified, because maybe because of our educational level in the country, educational system too. So it's and there are as good doctors as I have said. They may be not experienced, they may be very young people, but still very good, and very good trained. And they may be very experienced, have lots of experience, and still not very good for you. So you choose, it's up to you where to go and what doctor to choose. And so you may make an appointment with a doctor and see a doctor for money, or paying money for it, or just free, using your healthcare coverage. And so now I want to tell you about a case, one case with my child, with my son. When he was very little, he walked outside at a playground, and he was swinging. He liked it very much, and something happened. It turned out, and he found himself under the swing, and the swing was moving. And I was next to him, and I asked him not to lift his head, but he didn't listen, didn't do. He didn't understand, maybe. He lifted his head, and he got very hard stroke at his head, at the back of his head, and he was he have a bleeding, and we have to rush to the hospital. And when we came here, the administrator took our healthcare coverage, and then we visited a doctor. He examines him, asks some questions, and then we went to a room where he was band-aid was put. They put on a band-aid on his head. So, and next time, in several years, he fall from a bank, and he broke his arm, and he has very he was suffering a lot, suffering with very bad pain, and to relieve the pain, we also went to the hospital, and to relieve the pain, he was given a shot. And then they put a band-aid on his arm, and his arm was bent. So when in a month they put off his band-aid, his arm was right in the same in this position, and he couldn't unbend his arm to make it straight. He couldn't bend it easily, and I was very unhappy about it. I was anxious that he would stay with his arms like this, like in this. So we tried to do some exercises and to exercise his arm, and at last he get well, and his arm get better. So we have lots of we have in our family. I have lots of cases that are very not good, not happy, but they end up rather good for us.